Peace, everybody. Welcome back to a new week and a new video lesson. Today's lesson is called Story Time because I decided that I need to share more stories about the road to self care. And so I'm going to do that with you today, along with sharing our digital affirmation card only on Instagram and Patreon. So, before we get started, I hope that each of you had a wonderful weekend. I also want to introduce the theme for this week, okay? And the theme for this week is stand up for yourself. You know, the concept of standing up for yourself is often used to discuss, usually when you're a student in school and you're growing up. Um, Maybe there's a bully and you stand up to the bully. You know, we have these major standing up to the bully narratives. And as we emerge into adulthood and we become adults, there are other ways that we have to stand up for ourselves. However, we live in various cycles and systems of oppression because the very root of capitalism encourages us to not prioritize taking care of ourselves. It prioritizes, and by it I mean capitalism, prioritizes making money above all things. And so when you're trying to love yourself in a system like that, you have to stand up for yourself. And part of standing up for yourself looks like speaking against injustice and inequity towards yourself, but also towards others. Understanding when to create clear professional boundaries in order to do your work in a way that is sustainable and in a way that inspires you. We have this cultural belief that it's impossible to find a job that is going to nourish you and sustain you. And I think it's really sad that it has become so pejorative that folks realize that working for an institution or an organization or anywhere is going to require you giving up something of yourself in the form of time. Okay? So standing up for yourself means honoring your time in this world with the understanding that none of us will be here forever. And I always bring it back to our mortality because I'm a huge believer in some of Buddhist concepts around radical acceptance and the fact that we're going to die, right? So that means letting things go. Every day is a new day, not living in the past. And also embracing the fact that human suffering is a part of the human condition, that all human beings suffer in one way or another, some more than others, obviously. And so standing up for yourself is going to look and feel different depending on what you're struggling with. But we have to stand up for ourselves within our family units. Saying what's on our mind, even if other people around us disagree, right? And that's being true to ourselves. And obviously, you know, if you're saying something that makes somebody else oppressed, then you need to really examine that ideology or that belief. However, you also need to have the ability to live in your truth and unpack whatever struggles that you're having internally or externally with the understanding that we're all different and we all have different mindsets and philosophies. The deeper question is, how do we stand up for ourselves in a way that doesn't put us in harm's way? And so I want you to embrace that message for this week. What does standing up for yourself look like, feel like, sound like? How are you standing up for yourselves in your own lives? Have you been afraid to stand up to somebody or something? And what does that look like, right? So for me, I was really afraid to start my own business a few years ago. It's 4 years ago now, because I wondered about all of the ways that I could fail. And when I just threw myself out there and I stood up for myself, I stood up for my dream, here I am 4 years later thriving and doing really well in my business. And so as I try to help others get to that path for themselves, whether it's starting your own business or creating a blog or whatever it is that you want to tap into, you're going to have to stand up for yourself. And most importantly, you're going to have to find a way to make your time the most precious thing on earth, because it is. With much love and in solidarity, stand up for yourselves. Peace.